Good morning, my class 1511 Group 1E students, and welcome to our Zoom session. It's a bright, beautiful, sunny Saturday morning, and I have Martin on the call. Martin, hello, Martin. Martin, are you there?
Hello, I'm there. How are you?
Very well, thank you, Martin. Where are you calling me from, Martin?
I'm from Joburg.
Joburg, great. Where about in Joburg, Martin?
Randburg.
Okay, and how's the weather out there, Martin?
The weather is good. It's great. Today it's not cold, and yeah, it's nice.
Martin, you had a question for me in the email this morning. You asked me about a problem that you had. If you don't mind, just share the problem again, Martin, so that everybody benefits from it.
Okay. What's happening is when I install my code blocks,
Yes.
and when I try to follow the instructions on how to set it up, I am setting it up, but at some point I'm getting stuck where I cannot find some options.
Okay. Martin, I'm going to answer your question like this. Sometimes it's just easier to uninstall the program and reinstall it from scratch. Okay, Martin? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and this is also for the benefit of other students as well, in that you can use an older version of code blocks. Martin, just tell me, can you see my Google Drive, Martin? And I've got a folder out there.
Yeah, I've seen, yeah.
Right. Now, this is version 17.12. I know the latest version is about version 20, but I found this to be more stable. And Martin, this is the version that I'm using on code blocks, all right, to teach you. So what I'm going to do, Martin, which I think I already did because you and I got into this call about 10 minutes ago. I'm going to share this link in the chat. And Martin, all I want you to do is to download the file, right? So you download this file, code blocks Ming 17.12, Ming W setup, right? You download the file. By the way, Martin, firstly, uninstall the version of code blocks that you have, okay? And restart your computer. Okay, Martin?
Yeah, I'm going, yeah.
Link, it's in the chat, Martin. I posted for Martin to download there. I wrote it down. I want you to download the file and double click on it and follow the instructions thereafter. Okay, accept all the default values. Martin, I hope that will sort your problem out. But Martin, if you still have issues and you want to quickly work on a program, you go and use the online GDB. Right, I did this with the students last week, online GDB.
Okay.
And this is an online compiler, Martin. So it allows you to basically run your program online. So you don't need to have the compiler on your computer. All right, Martin? So I'm sharing my screen right now. I'm hoping.
Yes, I'm hearing.
Can you see my screen? It's a blank white screen on my side. I like to keep two computers open so that when I work, I'm able to see what you see. Okay, Martin, so I still got to figure out how the setting on.
Okay, the screen, I'm not yet seeing.
Yeah, okay, give it a second or two, Martin. Let me just put my video off as well.
Okay.
Martin, is my screen popping up?
Yeah, it is.
What does it say?
I'm seeing online GDB and online compiler.
Right, great. So Martin, you can type your program in here or copy and paste it out here, and you simply click on the run button there, right? So I'm going to say, hello. Right, Martin, how's that, Martin? Martin.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, answer the question.
I'm there.
Martin,
Yeah, I can see.
great, great. What answer the question? What did I ask you?
Sorry, maybe I didn't hear. What did you say?
I'm asking you in a question in the see out statement.
Oh, okay.
What's on the screen, Martin? This
Let me check. I think my computer has gone. I can't see I can't see your screen now.
okay.
Okay, let me try.
Anybody else would
Sorry.
like to start the conversation?
It's hello, Martin. How are you?
Yay, thank you. Who was that?
Yes.
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel. Okay, Emmanuel, because you can see the screen. Emmanuel.
Yeah, I can see now.
Okay, Emmanuel beat you to it, Martin.
Yeah, I saw.
I'm gonna ask you who you are. Emmanuel, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you, sir?
I'm excellent, now that you joined me. Okay, great. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to leave that question aside now. So Martin, I've given you two options. I've answered your question. One, you had a problem with version 20, so we went back a couple of versions, version 17. Two, I've given you an online compiler option to run, right? Emmanuel, do you have a question for me, Emmanuel?
Yeah, but probably it's not the right time to ask it. I'm having trouble with assignment 2. I don't know how to answer it.
Okay, great. Let's look at assignment 2, right? So Martin,
I don't know how I'm supposed to submit or ask.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Let's answer that for you, right? So I'm going to. So Emmanuel has a question about assignment 2. So let me go and log into my group 1E to find out where is assignment 2. So Emmanuel, you can keep I'm going to answer your question. Emmanuel, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Great. So I've loaded assignment 2. There we go at the bottom of here. Can you see it says assignment 2 edited? It's under the group.
Yes.
Great. So I click on that link and I'm going to find my assignment 2. It's taking some time to open up, Emmanuel. Okay, there we go. There's assignment 2. So the assignment 2 is it's following. It says, let's just quickly revise assignment 1. Assignment 1 talks about the due date being the 11th of April. I think they've extended that, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
When is it due?
Is it the 2nd of May?
Okay, great. So 2nd of May. So assignment 2 is, when is that due?
On the 8th.
Okay. Now you don't have much time from the 2nd to the 8th. So you got to start with assignment 2 ASAP. It's worth 35%.
Yes.
So for your exam, your final mark, that's how you're going to get the mark. All right. So it says,
Yes.
let's first question. The first question talks about there's an automatic extension until the 8th of May. You're actually talking about the 8th of May. So we're not even going to the due date. You're talking about an extension. We can ask ma'am if you can extend the date because the students had an, we'll talk about late registration and we'll talk about the fact that, assignment 1 was extended to the 2nd of May or 1st of May. And so basically you have to cover the following work. You have to cover work from lesson 17 to 23. Okay, Emmanuel? And these are questions. So let's look at the first question. It says, suppose we want to input and validate the age of students that qualify for an internship as well as the final mark obtained for the examination in a while loop. So guess what, Emmanuel, you have to learn how a while loop works. You have to know what the while loop is all about, right?
Yes.
The student should be younger than 30 with a final mark of more than 65%. Read in values until a suitable candidate is found. Display appropriate messages, whether successful or not. Oh, there's a spelling error, WHETR. The variable names are age and final mark, respectively. complete the while loop below. You only have to write completed while loop. Now, where do you start? So, Emmanuel, were you here last week, Emmanuel? Emmanuel?
I wasn't, but I did see the videos.
Saw the video. Okay, the video that spoke about Ty's program. You see that one? Emmanuel?
I saw the one where you explained the while loop and how it works.
Okay. Did I mention a student by the name of?
I just followed the videos that you.
Okay, the video, in the video, I'm talking about a person by the name of Ty. Did you see that?
Yes, that one I saw it.
Okay, great. So you have to listen to that video. Now, in terms of programming, you can't start in the middle of it all. You got to start where,
It starts, yeah.
Right. So I'm going to just jump into taking the example from, as if I'm leaving off from last week Saturday, right? If you go to my YouTube, see it out there. It's going to say, this is weird. Oh, this is the whiteboard that's showing, all right? Okay, so let's go to, I'm going to start a new share my screen. So this was the lesson that we did 6 days ago, group 1E session introduction. Is it? Right. So this was the one 6 days ago. Yeah. So Emmanuel, you got to watch this. All right. Emmanuel?
You are now breaking. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
I can't hear you well.
How's it now, Emmanuel? Participants, do you mind if you are not talking, if you could just mute your mic, please? Right. So Emmanuel, you'll have to go through last week's lesson as well, right?
Yes.
Right. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to jump straight into this question. How do you answer the question? So this was last week's example. Ty was with us, and I spoke about. Let's start afresh. New open. So I'm going to explain to you. Right. So let's see how we're going. Let's click on File, click on New, click on Project, and Console Application. Emmanuel, you with me?
Yes, I'm here.
So here we go. Next, and I'm going to call it Emmanuel. Emmanuel A02 Q1A, right?
Okay.
Right. So Emmanuel, here's the program. Now, Emmanuel, a good thing is to check whether your settings are working, and to check whether your program is working. I'm just going to make my screen a little bit bigger so that I don't have to wear glasses or anything of that sort.
Okay.
Right. So you click on Settings and you go to Editor. Right. You go to Choose an Editor, Sample Text. And I'm going to make that 20, right? So that it's nice and big. You can also change it to whatever you want to, right? Let's go with 16, right? And you click on Enter and it should work now, right? My computer has slowed down drastically then. Hi, I've got a question in the chat. Good morning, I'm having trouble with Bool. My name is Adore. Okay, Adore, you can keep the question in. You can talk about that at the end. Bool is Boolean variables. Right, so, oopsie. Okay, Emmanuel, for some odd reason, it's not making it larger. Emmanuel, I'm just trying to move the Zoom. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, editor. Let's go back to editor. And settings. I'm going to general settings. My computer has gone very slow for some odd reason.
But I don't know about others. For me, the font is fine. I can see.
You can see it. Okay, great. Then let's go ahead, right? So let's just quickly build and run. Build and run with the hello world so that I'm checking that my computer works. Great. Now, Emmanuel, this is what you're going to do, right? How do you asked me, where do you start, right? So you start with number one, you should have learned through you should have been through all the questions, not the questions, the lessons, assignment, right? So because the assignment says that you need to have completed. I'm closing quite a few applications out here in the background, and I don't need that. I don't need that. Okay, so if you see there, you got to start by lesson 17 to 23, but Emmanuel, you have to do lessons 1 to lesson 16 as well. Okay, Emmanuel?
Okay.
And at the end of the activities, at the end of each lesson, there's an activity. So here we go. I'm looking at lesson. Stance is, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to say Control C. And I'm going to open up code blocks. And there it is, Emmanuel. I'm going to put, right, Control V. So last week I did this with the students. We spoke about the concept of a variable, and we spoke about input processing and output. So Emmanuel, you must realize that there's some missing code out here in the while loop, right, Emmanuel?
Yes.
So I'm just going to take that out for now. I don't need to use that. In order to start your program, to get this thing working to a stage where you want to see it, you do the following. So you say, hey, this looks okay. Emmanuel, does it look okay, Emmanuel, to you?
Yeah, it does.
Now, Emmanuel, there's another law in C++ programming where if you have to use a variable like age and final mark, you must declare that. Okay, Emmanuel?
Yes, I'm here, sir.
Yes, the question, the rule that I made for you is if you are using a variable, you must declare it. Emmanuel?
Can you repeat that? You are breaking a bit.
Okay. The rule is if you are using a variable, you must declare it.
Yeah.
Hello, Emmanuel.
I can hear you, but there's some breaking. I don't know if it's my network or something.
I think what he's saying if you are using, you must declare it.
Correct.
If you are using a variable.
Is that Martin?
Pepe?
Martin, is that you? Hello, Martin, is that?
You're now breaking.
Oh, no.
Because what I heard from my end, you're saying if you're using a variable, you must declare it.
Correct. That's what I said. Yes. Right. So if I'm using age, I got to declare it. So I got to int age, and I got to say int final mark. Okay, Martin. That's what I'm using, right? So I've taken the program and I'm going to say build and run, and here it is. Enter my age. I am 28 years old. Oops, let's go and put in 28. And my final mark for the exam, I want to 80%, right? So can you 1A is, this is the input part of your program. So my strategy is to put something into the program, right? Emmanuel and Martin? Now that I've
Yes,
put
yes.
it into the program, I need to see what comes out of the program. I need to display it. See out, my age is age, and I'm going to give it an inline. ENDL. How's that, my Emmanuel?
Yes, yes, I can see it.
Right. So
in other words, you replace the variable name there with the age.
Yes, I'm displaying the age. That's all I'm doing in this program. I am simply
Yes.
Let me try again to make the screen a little bit bigger because I'm actually struggling to see it.
From my end, it's fine.
Okay, on my side it's not. Right. Okay, that's better. Right. So can you see, Emmanuel, what I did?
Yes. Yes.
Let's build and run this program. So it says build and run, Enter my age. How old am I, Emmanuel? I'm 28. Enter my final mark, 8. Yay, my age is 28, right? So when you're working like in terms of answering your question, you build your confidence. I want to say, hey, let me display my final mark as well. The final mark is FINAL MARK. Right? So this is the output part of your program. Right? Okay, so I'm trying to teach you a strategy of learning this answer it. So what's your age, Emmanuel? Tell us.
32.
Right. So Emmanuel, let's make you younger than that. You're 30, right? And what you want to get for this course, the final mark, Emmanuel?
97.
100%.
100%. Excellent. I love that. Right. So here we go. Hey, my age is 30. My final mark is 100. Now, this is the input part that's done, the output part that's done. They want you to work on the processing part. That's what we're going to be working on today. All right. Okay. So the question says, how do I validate? Basically, that's what they're asking you to do in this question, right? If I look at the question here, it says, that's not the question. The question is, there we go. So they're asking me, that means they say, I'm sharing my screen with you, it says, the final mark of more than 65, the student should be younger than 30 with the final mark of more than 65. Now, I can't answer the question for you, right, Emmanuel? Because that's what you need to struggle and work on it. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk to you about how a while loop operates, right? The characteristics associated with the while loop so that you can answer this question. And Emmanuel, I actually did my homework before I came to see you, before you were here. I did it out here, right? I did my homework and I'm program. So let's run my program. It says, enter my age. So I am 28 years old, Emmanuel. It says enter mark for the exam. I'd like to get, let's say it's 50. And my age is 28, my final mark is 50. There we go, I've run the program. Now I'm going to include a while loop in there. All right, so let me see my while loop story, my while loop, how my while loop works. I'm going to say build and run. All right. Okay, it's not that program. Right, so there's my program here. That's Emmanuel's program. That's my program. Build the program, build and run. Okay, Emmanuel, my program, I'm gonna copy the whole program. This seems to help. If it doesn't seem to work, I'm gonna open up a new. I'm gonna click on copy. I'm going to click file, and I'm going to click on new project. And in honor of Martin, who joined me, I'm going to talk about. I'm going to give him its name, Martin. Q1A, right? Capital Q, right? Q1A, right? So there's my new program, Martin 1A. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to close the other programs, right? Close the other one, but I will do that.
Yeah.
Right. So let's see, Martin Q1A runs, golden run. Right, there we go. Can you see Martin, and can you see it, Emmanuel? I'm running my program, and this time I'm running the program more than one mark, okay? And in order to, I said that I need to enter a mark that's less than 0, because nobody gets -1, -2, -3 mark, okay? So just bear this. So I'm going to say the next mark that I'm getting is 50. The next mark I'm going to get is 50. The next mark I'm going to get is 50. But now I want to stop the program from running, okay? So I'm going to enter in -10. Nobody gets -10 as a mark, okay? Emmanuel?
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
Hey, it stopped. The average mark is 50, which is true, right? 50, 50, 50, which is 200, 200 divided by 4, which is still 50. Now, this is where we are using the while loop. And I'm going to talk about the while loop now, because you need to understand the characteristics associated with the while loop so that you can answer question 1A. Let's talk. Let's go. Here's my structure of the program. All right. So my structure of the program says, I want you all to start thinking like this. Remember, you said whenever we use a variable, we got to initialize, we got to declare it. So this is my declaration part on the top here. 6, 7, and 8. Lines 6, 7, and 8 are declarations. Now I want to save some lines. So instead of writing int age, I'm going to put int age again. I'm going to put it in one line. Right. So I could have done that. I could have put comma, and I could have put final mark. Right. And I don't have age. Right. So I'm just saving some space. Do you like? You like that? We like to save space and lines, huh? Right. So I can put a comma. Now, these are my variables that I'm using. Age, final mark. You saw that in the previous program, Emmanuel. There's the previous program. Int age, I did that. I introduced 2 more variables, average, and I included sum. Now, here we go. This is the program. I need to ensure that my while loop runs when my final mark is greater than 0. So that's how the while loop works. There's a condition statement here. While final mark is greater than or equal to 0, I must go and add my mark, the 50. Remember I had 50? I must add it to. Now I'm making another rule for you because you're a brand new student to programming. Whenever you use a variable, it's a good idea to initialize it or to set it to 0. So Emmanuel, can you see I got in line number 8, age is equal to 0, final mark is equal to 0, average is equal to 0, sum is equal to 0.
Yes.
Now this is my way, Emmanuel and Martin, to teach you some programming strategies. Some programming languages, you don't have to do that, all right? But I don't want to confuse you and talk about that. Just take it for granted that I'm your teacher and I'm talking about a strategy to answer program question, okay? So let's make that a mini rule for you, a rule of thumb. If I'm using a variable, I must declare, initialize it, and I must declare it to be, or have this initial value to be 0. Here's my input. Enter the age, enter the final mark. That's normal, what you did what I did last week, and what I'm doing today. But this is the new part I introduced to. And I'm going to talk about the average now. So in order to be able to, I'm going to say, compare and process the final mark, I need to ensure that whatever I'm entering in is greater than 0. So in line number 60, final mark is greater than or equal to 0, I'm going to go inside the loop. And let me tell you about this loop. Every loop, you're going to have an open curly bracket in line 17 and a closed curly bracket in line 22. So this is the body of the loop. That's what they're testing you on here in assignment 2, question 1A. Inside the body of the loop, I need to have another entry of final mark. Can you see in line number 12, I have an entry of final mark, enter final mark for the exam, C in final mark. I got to have that so that I can make a comparison in line number 16 that the final mark is indeed greater than 0. Do you get it, Emmanuel?
Yes.
Once I'm inside the loop, I've decided to add this mark, right? I've decided to add it. Remember, I went in line number 8, I initialized sum to be 0. So now it took 0 plus 50 and it went and added that.
0 to 50.
In line number 18, I'm now asking for another value of final mark. And the reason I have to do that, Emmanuel and Martin, is that in line number 22, the loop goes back to line number 16 and makes a comparison. Can you see I'm doing a circle on the Emmanuel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? It goes in and in, roundabout. And ultimately, I come out with a value. Now, I just got a counter in there. Counter is equal to counter plus 1, so that it counts the number of times that my loop is running. And that enables me to work out the average over here. Right? The average is equal to the sum, the total value divided by the number of entries that I have, and then I'm displaying it. So this is what you require to assist you to answer question 1A. Now, somebody in the chat wrote down about Boolean. Question is, where's this thingy? It says, I just want to ask, oopsie. Oh, there's a question. It says, good morning, it's iPhone 2. I'm having trouble with Bool. My name is Adore. Okay. Adore, you need to ensure that you understand the concept of Boolean, because sometimes we need to have a while loop that encompasses 2 conditions, like what's happening in this question out here. In this question, it says that I need to, there's my question I'm sharing. It says that the person should be younger than 30 with a final mark of 65%. So that's why I chose, I'm 28 years old and my mark is 70%. Then I need to go and ensure that I'm running the loop. So you got to, in the while condition on the top out here, you got to have basically a statement that includes age and final mark. Does that help you without me giving the answer away?
Yes, it helped. Also, I wanted to know that after I'm done answering this question, how do I submit? Do I just click submit or?
No. Okay, good, right? Let's say, for instance, this question is worked out, everything is fine, I'm happy with it. So you say Control A, you right click, you say edit, you say copy. Right, you open, in my case, I'm opening up Word, MS Word. Now they're only asking you for the loop, right? I'm just copied everything, okay? You open up Microsoft Word, I hope you can see my screen. And you say Control V, pasting it in, right? Right, I'm pasting whatever's there. Control V, right. Emmanuel, can you see my screen, Emmanuel?
Yes, I can.
Now, if they ask you for the output, this is how you do the output, right? This is how you do the output. You go to code blocks and you run the program, right? You run the program. So enter my age. How old am I? I'm 28 years old. My final mark is 80. I ran it again. It's 45, 56, 78. And now I got a -1, right? So there's my average is 4. I'm not sure if it's right there. What's 80 plus 45 plus 56 plus 78? There's my calculator here. I better make sure that I'm doing the right thing. I'm not teaching you incorrect.
Yeah.
Plus 45 plus 56 plus 78 plus 259 divided by 4, enter, 64.75. Okay, that's great. It chopped out the 0.75. That's okay because it's integers, right? If you are listening to my previous lecture on board mass, or if you did my lesson quiz 2 on board mass, you'll understand where this comes from. Okay, so see with that. Now this is a trick. You go to the top of the screen and you click on that little icon that says just before C:users. Emmanuel, can you see that?
Yes.
Right. Then you go down to edit. Emmanuel.
Yeah, we can see.
Then you go down to all. or you can use the keyboard shortcut key Control A, and you click on it.
Okay. Yeah.
It becomes white. You've highlighted all of that. Then you
Yeah.
go to your Microsoft Word and you say Control V. Oopsie, sorry, you didn't do that. I should have said
Copy.
I didn't copy. Yeah, I didn't copy it. Let's go back.
Yeah, you selected but didn't copy.
Yes, I go back, I click on that one and I edit and I say copy, right? Or I can press the enter key. I go back to Microsoft Word and I go to wherever I want to put this thing in and I say Control V. Yay, can you check it out?
Yes, yes, we can see.
Right. Now, if they ask you to send it as a PDF, you click on File and you say Export, create Adobe PDF.
Mm-hmm.
And then you click on Create Adobe PDF and you say yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I give it a nice name. And it's generally nice to include your student number in there, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Student number 212 A2, whatever it is, assignment 2, right? And I say,
Mm-hmm.
now, there it is, assignment 2. I'm not showing up, I got my PhD, IT education, right? Okay,
Yeah.
man, right? This is what I've been doing all my life, teaching programming, IT, and all that goes with it. So there's my program there. And guess what? I copied it twice. Right? Can you see that? Now, some people want to do it as a screenshot. You could do that as well, but I found this to be easier. I like it. It looks pretty neat.
Yeah.
You don't black and all that goes with it.
Yes.
Okay, Emmanuel, does that answer your question? Emmanuel, Martin, does it answer the question?
Yeah, for me, I'm clear. This is
Okay.
okay.
Yes, yes, sir.
Now, you know
Yes,
what
I know.
in
Yeah.
reading group 1E. I actually posted this in group 1E. Right?
Okay.
I posted this in group 1E. That's what you're actually telling me. 1E.
All right. For me, I wanted to request something as well because I was seeing on the YouTube
Like
the lessons you have done.
Sorry, one thing. I posted this in group 1E, right? So all the instructions on what I did is from a tutorial letter in 2011, right? By the way, can you see how long I'm in this game, Martin? Emmanuel?
I can.
Right, 2011, they gave me a tutorial letter, and every single year from 2011, I've been using this tutorial letter, right? It's in the group 1E. I posted it as a file that says how to print a C++ program tutorial letter. Did you read that? Emmanuel, did you read that?
Not yet from my side.
Oh, okay. It's there. I'll post it in the chat if you want, right, as well.
Okay.
And I also posted it in the WhatsApp group as well for you guys. All right. So
Yeah,
sorry.
we are on the WhatsApp group. I am on it.
All right. Yeah, I posted that as well. Right? Okay. So Emmanuel, sorry, Martin, go ahead with your question. What was your question?
Okay. My question was, I think I could have missed where you posted some of the lessons you have done. I think I missed them. The ones I was seeing on YouTube.
Okay.
Can you share with me the link and also the link for the online compiler?
Okay, the online compiler is, I'll write it down in the chat. It's online GDB. I'm going to share that for Martin. You're right, my network is slow. Oh my goodness. All right. So Martin, it's online GDB. If you go to my, are you part of 1E, Martin? I posted.
I'm trying to check.
Martin, it's out there, right? It's online. There's it. I'm sharing my screen. You should be able to see it now. onlinegdb.com/online C++ compiler. Control C. I'm going to post that in the chat. Right. Right. And you wanted my YouTube channel. Oh, just go and look for me, Prinavin Governor, okay? On YouTube, which is also posted in 1E. Martin, you need to log into 1E. Yeah. Okay. All right. So does that answer your two questions? Emmanuel, do you know where to start with this question? Emmanuel, I answered your question.
The while loop.
Yes, the while loop.
Yes, now I know how to. Yes.
You know. Okay.
Now I know how to go about it.
I don't give you answers. I'm just telling you. I don't give you answers. But I point you in the right direction. I hope the strategy on how to tackle it. All right.
Yeah, fair enough, sir.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Let's give somebody else a chance. Let me answer somebody else's question. It says, let's look at the question. It says, for Martin, right, I answered Martin's question about the problem that he had. I'm having trouble with bool. My name is Adore. Bool is Boolean variables. Now, Boolean variables are the and or the not values. So let me take an example.
It's great to see you. It's great to see you.
Sorry about that, a YouTube video started playing. Okay, so let me go and talk to, okay, iPhone guest has their hand raised. Yes, go ahead, iPhone guest.
Hi, everyone. So
Hello.
I just wanted to ask, going back to question 1A,
Yes.
it says you only have to submit the compiled while loop, right? Will I lose marks if I only submit the while loop only, or I should just paste and submit the whole code?
No, you only answer what the question says. The question says that you need to submit only the while loop. That's what you must do. You don't want to submit.
Oh, no, yeah, I was just asking whether I'll lose marks, but okay.
I don't think it's so strict, right? Y'all are beginning, y'all are introduction programmers, and ma'am would not be that strict, I hope, right? Or the markers for that matter.
No,
Right?
just to be on the safe side. Yeah.
Oh, all right. When you get your assignment back, have a look at it, and if there's an issue, email ma'am directly, and she will re-look at it. Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you, iPhone. What's your name? I'm sure it's not iPhone.
Oh, Silas.
Silas. Hey, hello, Silas. Welcome, Silas. Great.
Oh, thank you.
Right. Thank you. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you did.
Oh, I'm glad. Right. Somebody else like to ask a question? Just raise your hand and ask a question. Go ahead. I'll stop the screen sharing. Hello. Yes. Silas, you can lower your hand. Sir, your volume seems to be a bit down. I'm sorry about that. Yes, it's my network. I've got fiber at home. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Hi, everyone. Oh, there's another message there. Hello. Please raise your hand. That's the whole purpose of the Zoom session, to ask a question and to help you with the strategy. Hello. Who asked the question?
Yes, but there's, I see some hands raised up there.
Yes, go ahead. Kitso.
Hello, sir.
Okay.
Hello, Kitso. How are you?
Fine, and how are you?
Very well, thank you. Go ahead with your question.
My question is actually a follow-up to what you were explaining earlier about Boolean variables.
Oh, yes.
I've noticed as I'm working with C++, colon variables tend to be represented by 0s and 1 in the console. So if we're given a question to, I don't know, perform a specific task using Boolean variables, should we code it to output a string called true or false, or should we just leave it in that primitive 0 and 1 state?
Okay, it's a good idea to leave it in primitives 0 and 1 state, right? Because that's what we like. So what I'm going to do now quickly, I'm going to answer your question about Boolean variables. The best way to answer a question about Boolean variables is to take a program to answer that, right? So I'm going to share my screen again, Kitsu, because you asked the question about Boolean variables. But Kitsu, can you see my screen? Keep your mic on, Kitsu.
Okay.
Can you see my screen? It's got study guide there.
Yes, I can.
Right. So now I'm going to look for Boolean variables. I'm going to do a Control F, and right at the top there, Control F, B-O-L-E-A-N. Let's see where's the section on Boolean variables. All right, it's on lesson 11. Lesson 11 is Boolean variables, 117, and the next one is on there's it. Right, so kids, so you need to read all this about Boolean variables. Read all this info about Boolean variables. Read. Work out.
Okay.
What is false? There we go. Right, let's take an example from here. And it says, type in the following program, compile and run it. Kitso, I know you are rushing, so I'm going to copy and paste, okay? You don't mind, Kitso?
Okay. No, I don't mind.
Right. You got no say in the matter because I'm the boss here, right? So right, so I'm going to open up the file, new, and I'm going to go to project, and I'm going to give it a nice name, Kitso. Give me a nice name, Kitso.
Boolean.
No, you can't use Boolean. It's a word.
Oh, I'm not sure.
How about Kitso?
Okay.
Right, Kitso. Can you see my screen, Kitso?
Yes, I can.
Right, and there we go. I copied that one there using a Boolean operator. And let me go back to the next. Again, time is of the essence here. I have to please quick. Control C, copy it. Control V, right. Kitso, can you see my screen, Kitso?
Yes, I can.
Right, it says enter an integer between 10 and 20. Here's my input part. Right, here's my input part. Here's my declaration part. Remember I told you break up any program into your declaration. And I also said, I want you to start thinking about initializing. So I want you, because you're using a variable, initialize it, right?
Yes.
Initialize means set it to 0. N is equal to 0, okay? I'm just adding those two things in there. Then there's my input part, enter a number. And Kitso, this is my processing part. Right,
Okay.
Kitso? And there,
Yes.
oh, my output part over here. There's my output part over here, right? Can you see this program? I took and I gave you a strategy. It still has input processing and output. Now I said it must have a declaration, and I also said it must have an initialization. So let's run this program. Let's see what happens. Kitso is enter an integer between 10 and 20. Kitso, give me an integer between 10 and 20. Something that
15.
I'm thinking of a number, Kitso. I don't know about you. The number is more than 17 and it's less than 19. Kitso?
16.
I say it's more than 17 and less than 19.
18.
Yeah, oh, Kitso, I thought about the same number. I projected that into your brain all the way from Durban over the internet and everything. Yay, thank you. Right, Kitso? So let me see what over here, Kitso. Kitso, this is what it did. It made a decision. It says, is the number that I told you more than 10 and less than 20? But it so happened that I used a Boolean variable and. That's what happens with and out there, right? For those of you who did circuit diagram, circuiting and the parallel circuit and series circuit, it means that both the conditions must be true. N must be more than 10 and N must be less than 20 for you to display thank you. Otherwise, it must state that the number is not between 10 and 20, right? That's what was happening, right? So let's run the program this time, Kitso, where it goes the other way around. So Kitso, I'm asking you to enter an integer between 10 and 20. But Kitso, can you be naughty and give me a number more than 10, 20? Let me project.
21.
Wait, Kitso. Wait for me.
Oh,
I want you to think of this number, Kitso. You and I are going to think of the same, and everybody else. This number must be an integer. It must be between 23 and 25. Kitso, what number are you thinking of?
24.
Like me, Kitso. Excellent. I hope the others as well. 24. Now, Kitso, I'd like to know from you, when this program runs, what message it's going to display, Kitso?
It will display the message in the else statement.
Correct.
Not between 10 and 20.
Well done, Kitso. You are just like me. You can predict what's coming out, right? So, Kitso, that's what happens with the Boolean and. All right. Now, the other Boolean function that they have is the OR function, Kitso, right? The function OR, which works like this, right? Here's the OR function. Let's build and run this one. So that means enter an integer and oopsie, there we go. The OR. There's another one called the OR function. Right? This is for the students adore as well. Enter an integer. Okay, I should change the wording, but I don't want to enter. I'm entering in the value 80. If I enter in the value 80, it says thank you, meaning the number 80 is more than 10, or the number can be less than 20, and it's going to give it to me, right? So I'm going to say enter an integer. All right? Just going to say the word enter an integer to explain to you what OR does. If the integer 80 is more than 10 or less than 20, it's going to say thank you. The integer is either more than 10 or less than it's either more than 10 or less than 20. So let's run this program again, so it makes a little bit more sense what the Boolean does. This is for two people. I'm going to say 80. Thank you. The integer is either more than 10 or less than 20. Kitso, am I right? Kitso, is 80 more than 20? More than 10?
Yes, it is.
Let's run this program again, right? Let's run this program again. Build and run. This time I'm going to choose an integer that is in that range of 10 and 20, right? So you know you told me 15 before. Thank you. Oh, I don't want to say that one there. The integer is it's more than 10. Yeah, 15. 15 is more than 10. So it prints out that one. Okay, so you see what the OR does? Right. Now I want to try and run this one here, else n is not, it's not more than 10 or less than 20. So can you give me a number that's not more than 10 and it's not less than 20? Kitso?
8.
Is 8
No.
okay, let's see what 8 does. No, 8 is more than 10 or it's less than 20 because 8 is less than, that's why it's running that one. Okay.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this condition a little bit. So age must be more than 10 or, see 8 comes into that. So that's why it's displaying right now 20. So Kitso, I'm going to leave it up to you. You play around with it to see where you're going to get such that the OR works. But generally we use the AND condition all the time because that's need for this one here, right? So Kitso, I'm going to talk about this. I like to use this one here when I'm teaching the students. If you're a teenager, your age must be more than 13 or less than 21, right? You must be more than 12, isn't it? Should be a teenager, Kitso?
Yes, that's
right?
True.
So that will explain to you the Boolean concept. You are a teenager. If it's not, I'm going to say you are not a teenager, right? Let's build and run this program. Enter an integer. Ooh, Kitso, I should have said enter in your age, right? So Kitso,
yes.
15 years old, you like the 15? Kitso, you are a teenager.
Yes.
Again, Kitso, right? It says, let's enter in a value that's more than that. Let's say I'm my age, I'm 28. You are not a teenager. Now that's what you're going to need for this question, because they talk about age being 65 and all of that stories, right? Less than 65 or less than whatever. Right, Kitso?
Okay. Yes.
Right. That answers your question on Bool, and also answers Ador's question.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Right, let's see. What's the other question here? There was something about sound. Okay, I hope.
Hello,
Hello.
how are you? My name is Adore.
Hello, Ador. That was your question. I answered the question about Boolean for you.
Yes, and I'm grateful. Thank you. I would also like you to just go through the activity 11C because I'm having troubles with understanding. I saw the solution and I'm a bit confused as to when I do it, it's totally different to how it's done, and it does give me the wrong output. So, meaning I'm wrong. My understanding is wrong.
Okay,
So I
don't-
just need clarity there.
Okay, Kitso, I'm sorry, Ador, I'm going to answer that question for you. Let me share my screen. Share. Right, so you're talking about activity 11C. Right, you're putting me on the spot over here. Let's see if I can answer that question. Where's my Google Drive? Right, so right, so I'm just opening up my solutions to this one. 11C, you said, huh? Is that correct? 11C. Okay. Ador?
Yes, from the study guide. Yes.
Yes, fine.
It's not an exercise, it's just those activities from the study guide.
Sure, no problem. Okay, Ador,
Yeah.
my screen, Ador.
Yes, I can.
Okay, what does it say?
Let me just go to it. It's consider the program for testing whether a number is a prime number.
Oh, okay. That's lesson number 8. Sorry, it's lesson C. It's lesson 11.
Yes.
It's lesson 11 exercise. What lesson? Exercise?
C. No, it's not an exercise. It's just the activity in the study guide.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at the wrong thing then. I'm looking at the wrong thing. I thought it was an exercise.
No.
All right. Okay, no problem. Let me get the study guide. Now I gotta get the study guide. Okay, class 1511. Do you know what page it is on, please, if you could help me?
Page
Ador?
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, page 1, 2, 3. Is this it?
AFM.
Is that it?
AFM, yeah.
All right. So this is what I'm going to do, Ador. I'm going to copy that because we're running out of time. And I'm going to Control C it. And I'm going to open it up into code blocks. Let's create a new project and let's give it a nice name. Console application. Next, give it a nice name, Adore.
Adore.
Right. I'm calling it Adore page 123, exercise 123. Adore, can you see my screen? Adore, Adore, am I a fast typist, Adore?
Yes, you are. So quick.
Thank you. All right, let's just go and run this program. So the program says, now the reason I'm doing this program is I initially started talking about the while, and I know this also deals with Boolean variables. Okay, so it says enter a positive integer. Let's enter a positive integer 20. Right, so 20 says 20 is not a prime number. Oh, okay. Does this happen with you?
Yes, it did happen with me.
Okay, there's a problem here. It's giving me both values. 20 is not a prime and 20 is a prime. Adore, you mind if I have a look at the problem and you email it to me and I'll give you the correct solution? All right? Because
No problem.
I'm taking other people's time as well, but there's definitely a problem from what you've told me, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, Adore. I'll give you the solution in the next, give me a day or two, right?
All right, no problem.
Thank you, bye. Right.
Bye.
It's my time, it's 1:05. I'd like to stop. I'd like to have a lesson for about 45 minutes. Let's see, there's another question quickly. It says, I can't hear anything. I'm watching. My problem with audio settings. Okay, Emmanuel, I think we sorted that out. All right, is there any other questions? Just unmute. That's the whole purpose of having this session. Unmute. Anybody? iPhone 2, Silas, question? Silas, do you have a question for me? No questions. Okay, can we call it a day? Can we call it a day,
Yes,
everybody?
sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Right, thank you, everybody. Let's call it a
Bye.
day. Keep in touch by the WhatsApp group, and we'll keep in touch on email. And please go to my group 1E. I have quizzes for you. I've got the quiz on board mass. I'm so happy with the students that have done so well on it.
So,
Yes.
so where can I find the link for the WhatsApp group?
The link, okay, let me share that.
There it is. Is that the one Byron just sent?
Byron, you've sent it. Thank you, Byron.
Thanks, Byron.
Thanks, Byron. Yay, Byron. Say hi. Put your camera on. Let me see y'all, please. Come on. I'll take a photograph.
No screenshot. No face, no case. Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Come on.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, I did receive the message for that I'm part of group 1E,
Correct.
but I'm kind of having trouble navigating to it. How do I go to the group?
Right. So this is how you do it. Let's open up. Oh, right now I'm also having trouble getting into UNISA. Emmanuel, I'm sharing my screen again.
Yes.
Are you able to see it? It's loading the UNISA. It's right on the top. I've also made a little video on how to access Group 1E. Did you see that video, Emmanuel?
No, currently I've only seen the 1 hour video, the one you did. And I've also seen that question which we attended today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've got 147 videos on my YouTube channel for course 1511, right? Go to my YouTube channel, it's out there. Is that okay? Or can you send me WhatsApp after this?
All right, I will.
Send me WhatsApp and I'll send you the link on how to log in, right?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next question, quick, next question. We are over time.
Sir,
Yes.
quick question.
Yes.
So in terms of the while loop and condition, so what would you say is the difference between setting the condition to while true and setting the condition to maybe while I is greater than 10?
It all depends on the question. it's a good question. What you mentioned, it's a good point that you brought about. Go through the Boolean conditions that they talk about: greater than equal to 0, less than equal to 0, while a value is true. True, like we spoke earlier on, the value must be equal to 1. So it all depends what the problem statement is. Okay. I can't give you a pocket rule to this is what it is, right? But if you can, email me a program with the code and the error message, or post on our group or WhatsApp, and we will look at it. All right?
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome, Abdul. Is it Abdul?
Yes, sir, that's Abdul.
Great, Abdul. Thank you, Abdul.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead. Next one. Any more questions? Byron is at work and he's joining us. Wow, thank you. Braveheart has a bad hair day. Okay, so we'll see. I don't ever have bad hair days because, well, for obvious reasons. Okay, no more questions. Going once, going twice, going, gone. All righty. Okay, goodbye, everybody. Bye, bye. Let me stop the recording.
Bye, sir.
I hope I helped.
Bye.